This is probably the video I'm asked to do more than any other, and I'm finally relenting. This video is every Lego set retiring in 2025. Similar to what we do when we're looking at new releases, we're going to go through it theme by theme. I'm going to bookmark it, so if you just want to look at specific themes, you can use the chapters below, or just watch the whole video. That would be super. And if off the back of this you decide to make a purchase, I would very much appreciate you doing that via our Lego affiliate link at blockpartyuk.shop. It helps support the channel and doesn't cost you anything extra to do. So big thank you to those of you who already do that for all of your Lego purchases. And in fact, before we get into the actual sets, just to mention as well that I'm not saying you must rush out and buy these straight away. We're likely to have at least a couple more double points weekends before the end of the year. I suspect there'll be one maybe June, July time, possibly around about Prime Day. Seems like a fairly sensible place for Lego to do a double insiders weekend. There's also likely to be loads of promotions and deals around Black Friday. In fact, I got a lot of good deals on retiring sets around Black Friday last year. So I'm not saying rush out and buy these now. It's more a case of be aware that they're going. So if you see them on a good deal, it might be your last chance to pick them up at these prices. And it's also worth pointing out that these are all subject to change. Lego regularly moves sets forward and back on their retirement schedules. So even if you've seen a video on this from a few months ago, things could have changed, and there's every chance I'll make a revised version of this a few months down the line too, after a few things change. But you know what? As a special treat, I think we're going to kick things off with a little something for the Trekkies. We usually save Star Wars for the end of these videos because we go through in alphabetical order, but having seen just how crazy people went for the retiring UCS Star Wars set at the end of last year, I figured that's probably where we should start this year. And this is the big UCS set that retires this year, the Razor Crest. When you are browsing the Lego website, it's often a bit of a clue that a set is retiring because they switch it to hard to find. It doesn't really mean anything straight away because, I mean, as you can see, it's available now. It's in stock. You can buy it. It's not that hard to find. It's right there on the website. That's really Lego code for at some point we're going to switch this to retiring soon. Usually within a few months of the end of the year, that will switch over to retiring soon, and then you do know that it's going. But just like with the 8080 at the end of last year, I would certainly expect there to be sales and promotions on this before the end of the year. I would strongly recommend not going out and spending £520 on it now, but when double points days do come around, and especially if you see it on a discount, and that applies to every set we're about to talk about, especially the expensive ones, if you've not got it yet and you've been waiting to take the plunge, that time is approaching. There's then a lot of smaller Star Wars sets. I'm going to kind of just flick through them because if I talked in detail about every one of these sets, this video would end up several hours long, and especially when I am about as far from a Star Wars expert as it's possible to get. I mean, it does mean if you're listening to this as a podcast, it's not ideal, but know that they are all on screen now as I flick through them. There's a couple of these sets that I recognize from being around our house as well. He's a cool guy. I kind of want this set just to get him. I've never seen him before. Let me know in the comments what flavor of Star Wars he's in so I can go and watch that, because he looked awesome. But yeah, it gives you this is another one that we've got in our house. Hannah's just picked this one up on Star Wars Day just now, and it is a very cool set. But yeah, that is your full assortment as it stands right now in May of 2025. These are the Star Wars sets that are going to be gone by the end of this year. So moving on into Lego ideas, and is it a good thing or a bad thing that we already have most of these? I love this set. The motorized lighthouse is going to be part of the seaside town in our city and looks awesome. The Disney Hocus Pocus house is one that Anna has on display downstairs alongside the insect collection. The Viking Village is one of my favorite sets that I built last year. This is one that I do want to pick up before it retires. There were rumors going around that it was going to be retiring this summer, but I'm looking now and it looks like it's been moved back to the end of the year, so less urgent than it was before. But this is one I definitely need to pick up by the end of the year. The family tree goes this year, as does the red telephone box, which feels like it's not been out very long. Similarly to Star Wars, there is a lot of Marvel sets going, so I'm not going to talk you through all of them. It is worth pointing out that two of them actually go at the end of July. Rocket's Warbird versus Ronan and the Green Goblin construction figure. No loss there. The rest of them are still the end of the year. So I'll just flash them up on screen the way I did the Star Wars ones. At least until we get towards any of the really important ones that you need to pay attention to, like the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle goes this year. It was one of my favourite sets ever. It's often on sale at Smith's as well, but certainly one to keep an eye out for and pick up if you see on a sale in the next few months. And then continuing to go through these, it is quite embarrassing how many of these I actually have. I think I've got something of a Marvel problem. Even some of these smaller sets that are clearly aimed at kids. The X-Jet is another one that will have been out for less than 2 years when that goes. So we're getting some short lifespans of some of these sets. The Milano, I feel like that came out last summer. I don't think it's even been out a year yet. So some of these, all the advice I was giving earlier in the week about not rushing to buy stuff when it first comes out, it seems like some of this stuff you do have to buy within a year. The Helicarrier, again, it's another one that came out fairly late on last year and is going this year. So we're getting some shorter lifespans on some of these sets than we've traditionally had in the past. Then on to Harry Potter, and this is one I'm going to have to make a decision about before the end of the year, because I have had my eye on this Diagon Alley set for a while. It's an entire street for the Lego City. It doesn't matter to me that it's open back because I can just have it stood against the wall. I am very tempted. I think if I can find this on a deal, it might make its way into the city. It's just so expensive, but then it is 4 buildings. Like I say, it's an entire street. I'm kind of hoping they extend this one. They're still releasing sets that are compatible with it, the Diagon Alley sets. There's more of them coming out in June. So I'm holding out a little bit of hope that they might extend the life of this one, but I suspect not. I've seen this in the Lego store, this Hogwarts Icons Collector's Edition. It had never occurred to me it was that expensive. I would love to know, if you've got this, what you thought of it. I mean, it looks awesome, but I'm not really a Harry Potter guy, so I'm not going to be spending money on that one. And then again, a selection of the cheaper ones, the Hogwarts Express and Hogsmeade Station, which I thought had already retired. But that is a nice set that could potentially become a part of my winter village. No, don't buy it. I can't be buying loads of Harry Potter stuff. I don't need another theme for me to go out and buy loads of sets for, especially when there is so very much of this. That's another one that came out last year, the Mandrake. Is that one of the sets that's compatible with Diagon Alley, or is this a Hogsmeade set? I can't keep up. I think this is a Diagon Alley one, so the fact that's going as well does make me worry that maybe it's all going. Although they're still releasing more of it in June. This ship came out last year and looks cool as well. And I think that came out this year. And of course, this hasn't even been released yet, but you do expect the advent calendars to disappear once Christmas has come and gone. There is a lot of Technic that's retiring. Some of these sets look so cool, but I'm just never going to be able to spend anywhere near that on a set like this. Although, to be fair, I think this is one of the ones that I've seen on the shelves in Costco for a lot less than that. So with some of them, there are definitely deals to be had already, and obviously keep an eye out for deals later in the year. This is one I think I'm just going to have to admit defeat on. There was one weekend last year where it was £300 in Selfridges of all places. I missed out on it, and now I can't buy it for any more than that, and I don't think it's ever going to hit that price again. And to be fair, as much as I want to own it and build it, once I've built it, what on earth am I supposed to do with it? It's enormous. There's literally nowhere. I mean, look at it. I'm kind of glad I'm not going to get it as much as I would enjoy the week I was building it for. And then again, lots more of these cars. I'm not going to name all of them individually. That's a fun little set that I have. Various cars and motorbikes in various shapes and sizes. I've got that one as well. That actually is a really fun build. I built that on stream a little while ago. That yacht only came out last year. So again, I think that's a bit of a theme. Very quick turnaround times on some sets now. Lego Icons sees the departure of some of the greatest sets Lego have ever made. 2 modulars, two Winter Village sets, and a couple of sets that only released really recently, but these are definitely the ones to keep an eye on. We all know how much the prices of modulars shoot up after they retire. So the Boutique Hotel is going this year, as is Jazz Club. They are both retiring. It's going to massively cut the range of currently available modulars, with two of them disappearing at the same time. We're also going to be losing the Big Vespa, which is one of the fiddliest builds ever, but does look incredible on display with Groot riding it, which is how we've got it set up on our landing. Probably my favourite Lego set I've ever built, the Lion Knight's Castle, also goes this year. I was a mug and bought it full price earlier in the year because I panicked. Don't be like me. Wait and get it on a deal, for goodness sake. The Land Rover Classic Defender 90. This is another one I would like to have, but probably won't ever be able to justify that price. But if I find it cheap, I'll be on it. And then we're also losing both the Alpine Lodge and Santa's Post Office, which only released last year. So Alpine Lodge, we got a couple of years out of that as a Winter Village set. But Santa's Post Office came out, I think, September last year and is already going to be retiring. So there will only be one Winter Village set available in 2026, the one that comes out this year, unless they're planning on bringing out a couple. Medieval Town Square is another one that only came out last year. I'm planning on pairing it up with my Lion Knight's Castle. Lucky that I already have it. The Blacktron Renegade came out this year and retires this year. And I suspect, with it being something that's very popular with the adult fans of Lego, and it releasing on 1st of January and potentially being a little bit lost in the mix with the new modular and lots of other stuff coming out the same day, I'm going to throw a prediction out there. Give it a year, this thing is going to be like 250, 300 quid on eBay. I'm tempted to pick one up, even though I'm not really interested in it, but I might pick one up just to leave boxed. And then if in a year's time, it's still not worth very much, I'll just build it because it does look fun. But I think I might be grabbing one of these for investment. And then the Pharrell Williams set, which I know this released relatively recently because I remember getting ruined in the comments for calling him Pharrell Williams because I don't know anything about the guy. It's got a pretty rainbow on though. As of now, no big architecture sets are going to be going this year, but we are losing a couple of the Skylines. Are these the last two remaining Skylines? They haven't released a Skyline in quite some time, although they hadn't released a postcard for ages, and we're getting an Italy one in June. So that's not to say Skylines are completely done, but I feel like Skylines might be done. So a lot of Ninjago going, so similar to what we've done with Marvel and Star Wars and a few others. I'm not going to name each of them as I go through. I am going to mention Kai's Source Dragon Battle, though, because this is the one that is scheduled to retire in July rather than the end of the year. So if you've been waiting for this one, you want to pick it up in the next few weeks. And then this is the big headline one that's going, Ninjago City Markets. This is probably a must buy for me. I love the little gondola. I am just waiting for a deal. I picked up Ninjago City Gardens last year before it retired, around Black Friday for double points and a big discount from Lego. And it's one of my favorite sets I've ever built. It's the first Ninjago set I've ever owned. And I now need to go and get all the Ninjago City stuff. The older stuff is super expensive, so we know these shoot up in price after they retire. And I will definitely be keeping an eye out for a similar deal to what I did with Gardens last year. I want that Black Friday discount paired with double points, please. And I've got to get this gondola in my life. Can you motorize it? I think I've seen it motorized at conventions. The rest of the Ninjago stuff, like I say, I'm just going to flash it up on screen so you can see the sets that are going. I'm not going to read through all of them because, quite apart from anything else, I don't really know anything about Ninjago. Ninjago City Gardens is still the only Ninjago set that I own, so I don't really know anything about it. The sets do look cool, but I think I need to watch I want to say show. It might be a movie. It might be both to fully understand it. But yeah, quite a lot of that is going. Same deal with Dreamz as we saw with Ninjago. They've got one random set that's going in July, Izzy's Dream Animals. That's going to be gone at the halfway point of the year. The rest of these retire at the end of the year. And again, I know nothing about them, but these are the sets that are currently slated to go. I've been reminding you throughout the video. I'll remind you again. Obviously, it's all subject to change. I mean, that is a cool looking set. Castle Nocturnia. I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't be getting into Dreamz. I shouldn't have got involved in Ninjago. I can't be getting involved in Dreamz as well. no matter how cool some of these sets look. Moving on to DC, and there's a collection of smaller sets, but also one of my favorite sets ever, Batman the animated series, Gotham City Skyline. I got this on launch day last year and absolutely adore it. It's on my office wall over there. It is one of my prized possessions. I've got that sat under my Batwing. I love them both. And yeah, I would be tempted to pick up another one before the end of the year, purely because it's Bricktastic. I saw someone who'd taken one of these and kind of turned it on its side and made it into a little mini Gotham City three-dimensional thing, and it looked awesome. I don't know if I've got the skills to do it, but if there was a set I was going to try and stretch myself on, it would potentially be this one. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on my buy before the end of the year shopping list, and I'm gutted that this has had less than a 2-year life cycle, because it suggests it wasn't very popular and we might not get more. I'm going to call them art sets for boys. It's like the stuff Anna gets, but I think it's cool, but I suspect it maybe didn't do very well, and we might not be seeing anything that cool ever again, which is a shame. And then there's the rest of these sets, including the Batmobile that I think came out last year, and a couple of the smaller play sets going as well. Moving on to Super Mario, and that actually has 3 sets that are going in July. I'm surprised to see Bowser's Muscle Car going, as it's very Mario Kart-y. It's not officially Mario Kart, but when we've just had the Mario Kart set, it seems odd that they'd quickly rush this one away. I wonder if we're maybe getting more Mario. Wouldn't that be cool? Especially with Mario Kart launching with the Switch 2. Goomba's Playground and the Soda Jungle Maker set both also going in July. And then the rest of these are the end of the year. And I've said this a few times in this video already, but another one of my favorite sets ever, the Mighty Bowser, retires this year. The fact that I own this means that I still really want to get the grand piano so I can pose Bowser playing the piano, singing the Peaches song from the movie. So this set might end up costing me another 300 or 400 quid yet. But yeah, I love it. If you have any interest at all in Mario, I would say certainly until the Mario Kart one just dropped, potentially the best Mario set they've ever done. Although there is some stiff competition for that, because we've had some very cool sets, but I love this set. If you can find this for less than £200, you'll have a lovely, lovely time. And then we've got a few more of the play sets going, which again, I think these are all relatively recent. I remember talking about these sets when they came out, and this channel has only been going for like a year. So they must have been released within that time. And on that note, seeing that there's Animal Crossing stuff retiring really makes the channel feel old. One of the main reasons this channel exists is because on my personal TikTok, I went to the Lego store and made a TikTok of me buying the initial wave of Animal Crossing, this wave. And it got like 500,000 views on TikTok. It went nuts. And because of that, I was like, okay, maybe I could start a Lego channel. So to see a theme that launched after we started now having its first wave of stuff retiring, oh, I feel old now. But we're losing basically the entirety of that first wave. I love the Animal Crossing sets. I, at this point, still have all of them. I still intend to put together an Animal Crossing island that I would quite like to go and display at conventions. But yeah, they're all going. In fact, those two I think came out later last year. I don't think they were the first wave. I think those 5 were the first wave. I think these came out in the second wave. So to see Dodo Airlines and KK's concert going as well, they're not even getting 2 years on the shelves. Come on, Lego, leave stuff on the shelves a bit longer. This is the problem with them releasing so much stuff. They can't keep it out for as long. Another example, because the Fortnite theme only started in October last year, and we're already losing the Durr Burger, which is the one set that I got to build, and it's a lot of fun. And then Peely Bone, which was one of Anna's favourite sets of last year when we did our sets of 2024 video. I think this was in her top 3 sets of last year. It is a very, very cool set. It's currently the only 18 plus Fortnite set. I think there is another one on the way in August, but it's a very cool set, and one that I suspect, because of its very limited shelf time, it may well shoot up in value in the future, because you only have to go 5 or 10 years for the kids playing Fortnite now who couldn't get the 18 plus set when they were kids. They're going to have mega nostalgia for something like this. This is going to be at conventions for £300 in a few years. I'm certain of it. Sonic the Hedgehog is a theme that I'd kind of forgotten existed after the initial ideas set retired last year. I've just had no interest in it as a theme, but if you're into it, these are the sets that are retiring at the end of this year. including at least that one I know came out late last year. So I was confused at the time why it was Shadow and not Sonic, but that one, and along with a load of play sets all going this year. I often talk about how Creative 3-in-1 is one of my favourite themes, and it's often because of just the sheer rebrickable potential for doing stuff in the Lego City. And Cozy House, which retires in July, this one goes very, very soon, is one that is amazing for that. I ended up buying 4 of these and might still pick up a couple more before they retire, because there's so many rebrickable builds that use the Cozy House as a base, including, which I'm tempted to do for Anna as a little surprise at some point, there's a rebrickable that's the Red Rocket like petrol station from the Fallout series. Even that uses the Cozy House as a base, but I've got one modular in my city based on the Cozy House already. I've got a couple more ready to go, and yeah, I might have to pick up a couple more Cozy Houses because it's just full of so many awesome pieces for doing modular buildings. And then the rest of these go at the end of the year, including these. I think this is the smaller of the 2 dinosaurs. I don't think this is the big one that I have riding a skateboard. No, I think this is the smaller one that I have next to the big one, the pirate ship, which is awesome, by the way. I love this set. It lives next to my Eldorado Fortress. Tempted to pick up another one for one of the alternate builds, but just as a pirate ship on its own, I absolutely love it. And of course, it does come with a brick-built shark. And as you know, Anna loves sharks. We're also losing the Butthole Tiger, which, do we have a butthole shot on here? We don't. He's got a butthole. He's great. And the adorable dogs are going as well, hopefully to be replaced with a Springer Spaniel at some point, so we can finally have a Lego Dave. The space roller coaster, which I built on stream recently and loved, is going to be going. And this is one where I kind of want to do the alternate builds on as well from a theme park in the Lego City. So if we can find this on a discount, on a nice deal, I might pick up 1 or 2 more of these before the end of the year. The Red Dragon, I love this set. It is very, very cool for less than a tenner. Love it. That one's going, as is the Modern House, which only came out last summer. This is one of those sets that came out in the UK in June, the US in August, I think. It's another one that's got great rebrickable potential. I've got a version of this that was based on 2 of these that's in the Lego City that will be moving into the beachside town area of our Lego City. And it's a great set, a lot of fun. We're also losing the Fox, the Hamster Wheel, the Tropical Ukulele, which I keep meaning to pick up to attach to Anna's Stitch because it's the perfect scale for that. The Sea Animals are going, which I think Anna already has. The Land Rover Classic, which is, I think, driving around our Lego City as we speak, and the Daffodils. And on top of these, couldn't find it on the Lego website. I think it is a store exclusive. The little version of the Red London Bus, the one that's been out for like 10 years and is in all the London stores, that's scheduled to retire at the end of this year as well. So I don't know what they're going to sell as a Leicester Square exclusive from next year. Maybe we're getting something new. Wouldn't that be exciting? We have some Despicable Me sets going by the end of the year, and I have to do some close inspection and see which of these sets have Kevins in. Is that Kevin? Or is that Stuart? Kevin, I know, is tall with glasses. So any Kevins I'm going to need to get. I don't think there's a Kevin in this one. This one, I think that's Kevin. So I might have to grab the Brick Built Gru and Minions. Kevin must be amongst their number. And I already have the mansion, even though it doesn't have a Kevin in, because I do plan on modularizing it and putting it in the Lego City. So all my Minion Kevins have somewhere to live in the Lego City. I have a problem. I'm really surprised to see that the Wicked sets are already going. They came out at the end of last year. Obviously, we've got part 2 of the Wicked movie coming out this year. And shortly after, the first wave of sets are retiring. I think there is more on the way. I wouldn't be at all surprised if these were ones that had their deadlines extended when they get a sales boost with the second part of the movie coming out. But as it stands at the moment, I think this is all of the ones that released at the end of last year are all going. So, if you still want the Wicked sets, keep an eye out for them. And on that note, we're also losing the Wednesday sets that came out the same day as the Wicked sets last year. This I can understand a little bit more because Wednesday hasn't been a thing for like 5 years. I don't know why they released them when they did, but that one is going, as is this one. And there is quite a cool rebrickable where they've taken that roof and added a rest of the building for it. So if it was minifigures, I'd probably do it. But with mini dolls, There's no room for mini dolls in my Lego City. And then with Speed Champions, I'm a little bit surprised that all the Formula One cars that came out this year are not retiring. They're scheduled to go in 2027. So they were already out of date liveries when they released. They're going to be well out of date and still on the shelves in a few years' time. But this one is the McLaren F1 from 2023. So this is the one that came out last year before, whenever it came out. This one is retiring, and it retires in July. So if you still are looking for this one, it's very similar to the new one. You can pick that up, but probably not for much longer. And then the rest of these go at the end of the year. I'm very confident I already have all of these on my Speed Champion wall, because I think I have every Speed Champion currently available on my Speed Champion wall. But there are some cool cars in here. And you know I love a Speed Champion. I love building them. We're also... Is that right? Why is the Kick Sauber hold on, I'm double checking my facts here. So that is one of... Right, I am doing this based on a list that's on brickfanatics.com, so I trust they know better than me. No, they specifically say it is split into different years where the retirements are happening, so they're not all going to be on until 2027. It must be a licensing thing that means this one goes this year. So I guess if you were taking your time working your way through the F1 Speed Champions, you might want to get this one next because it goes at the end of the year. There is a lot of Disney going. These first three go in July: Maleficent's Dragon Form, the Disney Princess Market Adventure, and Snow White's Jewelry Box. So they are more urgent than the rest of them. They're all going in July. And then by the end of the year, we're losing the Disney Castle, which has been out at this point less than 2 years. So that is going very, very quickly for like a big premium set. Obviously, it was effectively a remake of the previous one. And we do seem to be very quickly losing all the Disney 100 stuff. And this originally did launch as a Disney 100 set. Although I did notice this year, and you can see it on here, it's now been put in a new box with no Disney 100 branding. So it's really surprising they've done that, but then are still retiring it. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets pushed back and doesn't end up retiring because they've re-skinned the box and removed the Disney 100 branding. But as it stands right now, it is still scheduled to go. So if you've been holding off on this one, it might be time to start saving up your pennies. On that note, pretty much the rest of the Disney 100 stuff is on its way. See that one, again, even though it's got 100 on there, it doesn't have the Disney 100 stuff on the box anymore. So it's a cool set. Anna built that one. It is really cool. And then you've got some of the smaller play sets going to be going as well. I'm just going to flick through these. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs only came out last year, is fantastic. And Anna's got one on display downstairs. There's part of me that still would quite like it in the Lego City, maybe near the castle on the hill. Would it look weird? Do I need to get one? Should I steal Anna's? Maybe. The Madrigal house is also on its way. That's another one that came out last year, as are the Inside Out 2 mood cubes. And then we've got some more of these play sets that I guess all have had relatively short shelf lives, including the advent calendar for this year, which of course comes out and retires within a few months of each other. I'm not hugely into Jurassic World, but I do love the baby dinosaurs, and the first two of those are going at the end of the year: the Ankylosaurus and the baby dinosaur rescue center that has the little molded versions of all the little babies. We're also losing the T-Rex skull, although you'll still be able to get it with a body attached, because I think it was the same skull on Big Jeff that came out a few months ago. And we're losing a couple more of the play sets as well. And then one of the biggest collections of retiring stuff this year is Lego City. Lots and lots of Lego City stuff going, including the cargo train, which is already on a back order into the middle of June. So that's interesting. It is a set that I have and quite like, probably don't need a second one of, but if you're after a cargo train, you're running out of time. And then, I mean, again, we're just going to flick through these relatively quickly. There's all sorts of different price points within Lego City and so much stuff that is retiring, including some stuff that's released relatively recently, like the car transporter only came out last year. Same with the mobile construction crane, only came out last year. I think there's the police crime lab. I got that for Anna because that was what her degree was in. The excavator only came out last year as well. The Robot World roller coaster is incredible. I love that set. I built that on stream quite recently. Really enjoy that one. So well worth picking up if you're looking for a smaller scale skyscraper. I do need to make a decision on this one. I am planning on having a harbour area in the Lego City, but probably not until like the final stage, and it'll be kind of mixed in with Ninjago and harbour-y stuff. That's my plan. Do I want this as part of it? Maybe. I'm not sure. We will see. But we're losing the Jungle Explorer stuff as well that only came out last year. A lot of the space stuff, because of course it was space year last year. A lot of the space stuff is going as well, as is some of the F1 stuff that only came out earlier this year. So much Lego City that I'm losing my voice. The donut truck is a fantastic set. I think that only came out in January as well. The little soapbox races are going as well, and the track to race them on. Some of this stuff is just not even had a year. It's so sad. Get them while they're hot, boys and girls. And then we're into Friends, and Friends is another one of those themes that is great for rebrickables. It's well worth just going through this list and just seeing what rebrickables are available for the sets. Because on first inspection, I look at something like this and I'm like, I don't want that. But I bet there's some great rebrickables on it, and it's going to be the case with a lot of these sets. Like that one, there's some of the parts you've got in this shopping mall. If you just rearrange that into a modular shape, you've got these cool little escalators, all these little shop fronts. There's going to be some of these sets that I'm going to be picking up if I find them on decent deals, because as we go through, there's some of them that I know I already have. Like I already have that one specifically to do a modular building with. And yeah, there's going to be a few more of these when we find them on deals. I probably am going to take my time. I might even do a video picking out some of the best rebrickables from retiring sets, looking specifically at Friends and probably Creator 3-in-1. Castle Bed and Breakfast is another one that I have because I know there's some good rebrickables on it. Same with Andrea's Modern Mansion. I know there's a Iron Man's house rebrickable based on that I got at the back of my mind that I want to do at some point. But if you would be interested in seeing me do a video looking at the best rebrickable designs that come off the back of the Lego Friends, the Creative 3-in-1 sets that are retiring, so we know which ones to aim at, let me know. Into Brickheadz, and we're losing Captain America and Red Hulk that only came out at the end of last year. Iron Spider-Man feels like it's been on the shelves forever, as has Potted Groot. There's a few Star Wars, or one Star Wars one going. The Batman 8-in-1 was a weird experiment that I guess didn't sell very well because that's going. As are Joy, Sadness and Anxiety. The Wednesday sets, Dumbo, which is a fantastic set, as is Tom and Jerry, as is Red Panda. Interesting that I think they all launched at the same time as Eeyore, and Eeyore's not on the list for 2025. So Eeyore, clearly the greatest brickhead ever. And then into Minecraft, and so much of this range is these weird buildings that I don't really get, that I'm always quite critical of. But I know there are people out there who love the Minecraft stuff and will be looking to pick these up. They're often very cheap in B&M as well. So you certainly shouldn't be paying full price for any of these Minecraft sets. See, that camel's great. I'd pay £7 just to have the camel, never mind the rest of the set. So there is some stuff that's probably worth a closer inspection on, like the windmill farm is a very cool set. I like the look of that. This set I think only came out last year. The crafting table I know only came out last year, and I love that set. That's one of the few sets that is allowed to be on display in my office. So that's how much I like that set. And of course we have a Minecraft advent calendar that comes out and disappears later this year. There's a lot of seasonal sets going, which makes me feel like they're having a bit of a clear out. We've already seen that 2 of the Winter Village sets are going. A bunch of the other Christmassy stuff is going as well, including some of the other seasonal bits, like the money tree. The Christmas tree, which I think has been available for a few years, is on its way. The festive calendar, which is half price at the moment. I mean, you're not going to find a better deal on that one. We've actually just bought this, and this was the set we got in order to get our blue shell delivered, because it was half price and it's cool and it has the parts in to take it. I mean, you don't have to stick to 2024. You can change the date, and Anna's got that, and has got a nice little calendar downstairs now. But the spring animal sets are going. These are nice little sets. These are the little sets that live by the door in the Lego store, the Halloween barn, some of the Christmas ornament stuff. Lots of Christmassy stuff, Valentine's stuff. Like I say, so much of the seasonal stuff that's not been out very long is gone. And then we've got some of the creative sets going as well. These are kind of go-to gifts for me, for my nieces. I really like the creative houses set. We actually bought the creative houses set when we went on holiday last year and built a tiny little Lego village on a pool table in a Center Parcs. It's a really nice little set. And that goes in July, so that one goes pretty soon. Good source of brick and doors and windows and things as well. If you're looking to do custom buildings for a Lego city, you could do a lot worse than picking up 850 pieces for 50 quid, or pretty much all of which are things that you would use to build houses: doors, windows, roof pieces, and bricks. It's a handy little set. And then at the end of the year, we're losing the creative pets, the creative space planets, the vibrant brick box, which is another one I've given as a gift before, and the happy box is on its way as well. And then lastly, we've got some of the exclusive sets going that haven't been out very long, any of them. I mean, this is one of the best sets they've released this year. The travel suitcase, currently slated to go at the end of the year. It's cheap enough to just get it next time you're in the Lego store because it's great. I also built this set earlier in the year and love it. It has been available on some big discounts in the past, so don't pay full price for it, but I really love this set. And I've got this one ready to go as well that I'm going to build a sign for our streaming room with, which again, I think it's a great little set. So we have all of those. None of them have been out even a year yet, and they're all retiring at the end of the year. And that brings us to the end of a very long list. Apologies that I wasn't able to go into huge detail on all of them, or many of them. There's just so many. If there's stuff you want me to go on in more detail, let me know down in the comments and I'll consider making videos on them in the future. As you can tell, my voice is going because of how much talking there already was in the video. But if you have decided off the back of this to make some purchases, would really appreciate if you do that through the Lego store. You're using our affiliate link at blockpartyuk.shop. I would recommend you don't do it right now, unless you were doing it anyway, in which case we'll take the affiliate cut. But yeah, wait for double points days, wait for sales. This video isn't intended to make you all rush out and go and buy the Lego now. More, it's a companion video to the one I did earlier in the week, talking about how you buy Lego wrong. These are the sets you should be targeting when we hit double points days, sales, because come the end of the year, their prices will start to rise because they won't be available from Lego anymore. But hopefully you found the video useful. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.